Hello everyone, it's Kevin, and I remember when I played Crash Bandicoot 2 for the very first time. It was 1998 and my parents bought me a PlayStation. It was a very awkward situation for two reasons. The first reason was that I was a Nintendo kid. NES, Game Boy, SNES, the whole thing. So when my parents gave me that PlayStation in 1998, I was confused. But I was also kind of excited, because suddenly games came on CDs, and my TV was also a CD player now. The second reason was they did not buy me any games because it came with a demo disc. PlayStation Interactive CD Sampler Disc Volume 6. The disc came with some decent titles, but the one that caught my attention was Crash Bandicoot 2. Looking back at it now, I realized that some games are simply just fun when you're a kid. And then there are games that are fun but also quietly teach you how to play a new genre outright. This was my first 3D platformer, you see, and it was one of the best that I could have asked for at the time. I was very much accustomed to 2D platformers, but this game blew my mind as a kid. Not only was it 3D, but it was the moment I realized gaming could be about skill, patience, and getting better over time. This wasn't just about running forward and throwing myself at levels anymore. This was about getting my butt kicked and learning.
Crystals. Of course.
The level on the demo disc was Snow Go, which was a decent choice for a beginner player. While some of my friends were bragging about Mario 64, I would show them this demo and they would quiet down a bit about Mario. While I loved Mario 64 when I played it at my friends' houses, I couldn't help but notice that there was something different about Crash 2 once I played the full game. It was a bit faster paced, and while you didn't have the same range of motion that you do in Mario 64, you had a lot of movement and attack options. Mario 64 felt like freedom, while Crash Bandicoot 2 felt like discipline. It was a great improvement over the original Crash as well. The tone was lighter, the levels were clearer, and instead of surviving Crash Souls, I felt like I was being invited to master it instead. The Warp Room alone was a game changer for me. Unlike previous platformers I played that weren't by Nintendo, there was no long linear slog in this one. There was also a lower punishment for failing due to the Warp Room system. If you die, you just get kicked back to the Warp Room. Unless, of course, you somehow burn through all of your lives.
Game over.
So instead of turning the game off, I just try another level. That alone kept me playing longer than many platformers before it. That structure gave me confidence. I could retry tough stages without fear. I could experiment, and without realizing it, Crash Bandicoot 2 was teaching me something important. Failure wasn't a setback, it was a part of learning. Crash Bandicoot 2 was always a game with tight controls and movement. The jumps felt precise, momentum mattered more than ever, and movement felt intentional. The slide jump changed everything in this one. I remember missing jumps I knew I could or should make, until I realized the game wasn't asking for better timing, I just wasn't executing, and it was asking for better execution. Due to the 3D depth, it was super important to master this, and that was the first time a game made me feel one with my character. I needed to get good, and I needed to make every move needed to win. Crash 2 didn't just reward completion, it rewarded curiosity and replayability. There were hidden crates, split paths, and many secrets you'd missed if you rushed through the game. You could finish a level, or you could dissect it. Going for gems wasn't required, but once you knew they were there, you couldn't just ignore them. This was the first game that taught me the difference between beating a game and becoming a student of the game. While Crash 2 could be tough, it wasn't as bad as the first game. This one was a fair challenge. When you failed, you knew why. It could have been a mistimed jump, or a rush slide, or simply just using the wrong attack on the wrong enemy. And when you finally nailed it, that feeling stuck with you. That is why the remake was memed with the true Dark Souls moniker. It was truly satisfying and never got old. I swear that these retro platformers taught me perseverance and patience from a young age. And most importantly, Crash 2 taught me that frustration wasn't the enemy, quitting was. And that's a life lesson, folks. The bosses were all unique and recognizable. They weren't walls, they were checkpoints for me. Each one marked progress. As you play through the game, you also feel the progress you have made as a player as challenging sections of early levels become normal in the later ones. That being said, I was always thankful for the ample 1-ups and mask power-ups as I needed it as a kid. I still believe to this day that some of the later levels have parts that are mandatory for you to take a hit to proceed. This game was really a throwback to the NES games I used to play. Crash Bandicoot 2 made me want to improve. Every day after school I would do my homework right away so I could keep trying to get through this game. Going into the game as a kid, I thought I was just trying to win, but what the game was designed to do was make me want to try to improve. I grew up with the NES, of course, so I knew a thing or two about tough but rewarding games. But Crash 2 taught me that 3D games were also able to challenge you without pushing you away. And that mindset stayed with me. I started approaching other games differently. Slower, smarter, more patient, which were important skills to have as the 3D era was very much about trying to push immersion and detail at that time. In 2026, this is one of my nostalgia reset games. The reason being is that Crash Bandicoot 2 still holds up. The controls still feel right, the pacing still works, and the challenge still feels honest. Plenty of games came after it, but this one was a big part of what shaped how I play games to this day. And it couldn't just be me. Crash was a big deal. Just look at these commercials.
After a short vacation, Crash is back.
Hey! She did it! I told her not to put that in there.
Wow, that was intense! Woo! I just flew in from the new ruins level, and boy, are my arms tired! Thank you very much, baby. Thank you very much. That was funny stuff. Wow, funny stuff. Dog, did you see that? Hi, I'm Crash Bandicoot!
You don't see stuff like this anymore, do you? One thing I must address is the Insane Trilogy. While I love the trilogy and it's probably the best way to play these games in 2026, there is a charm behind the original PlayStation releases, and I encourage you to play them if you haven't already. Crash Bandicoot 2 didn't just make me better at platformers. Every time I hear that PlayStation boot sound now, I feel like I'm back in that warp room. It helped turn gaming into something I took seriously. It wasn't just a game anymore, it was an experience. What was your first 3D platformer? And how did it make you feel? Let me know in the comments. Consider subscribing if you love retro gaming. I make this kind of content weekly. And that's a wrap. It is time to reboot. I will see you on the other side.